What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be continuing with the Saturn series, and I'm going to be speaking about having Saturn in the 8th house in synastry with somebody else. Coming into your 8th house can make for a very powerful placement to share with somebody, because it is bringing somebody's very serious energy into a very personal house for the house person. And the Saturn person's very serious, more responsible, and even more mature way of being, or their energy, can rub off on the 8th house person. And this synastry placement between two people is going to lead to a lot of transformations, and they can also experience a lot of transformation when it comes to the intimacy, and even when it comes to finances and the way in which they handle that, which is why it's going to make a very noticeable difference. The influence that the Saturn person has on the 8th house person can be very positive in this way, because it can also help the 8th house person when it comes to being able to make more concise decisions and making more responsible, smart, long-term plans when it comes to their stability, especially when it comes to their finances, and especially if positively aspected. But on the other hand, what can also happen with having this synastry with somebody is that their intimate life could also kind of be like a slow burn with the Saturn person. Both of them could be very cautious or want to take things more slowly when it comes to developing the more intimate side of their relationship. But the 8th house person could feel like they can't open up to the Saturn person, and they can't share their more deeper, more of their secrets with the Saturn person, or they may feel like they're going to be judged or not supported by the Saturn person if they try to. And having Saturn in the 8th house with somebody can feel like there's some kind of blockage or barrier when it comes to the more intimate side of the relationship between the Saturn person and the 8th house person. So they could both want to move really slowly, and in the positive, they could also build a really strong, solid kind of foundation in their relationship, even though it is the slow burn, slow to unfold kind of connection between them. And the 8th house just is a very personal house. And with somebody Saturn coming in here, the Saturn energy is going to also have this karmic dynamic with between the 8th house person and the Saturn person. And there could be this sense of also learning a lot of lessons about themselves on a deeper level. With somebody Saturn coming in here, the Saturn person, especially for the aspected, can help the 8th house person when it comes to getting through certain lessons, especially about themselves on a deeper level, even about their patterns when it comes to relationships and the past, and any kind of traumas that they may have gone through that they have not yet resolved, or they may have repressed. It may be somewhat difficult to be vulnerable with each other, and it may take some time when it comes to being able to open up to each other, but there could be a lot of depth and a lot of intensity behind being able to open up to each other, which may happen quite slowly for both of them with this synastry. And there could also be a lot of strength, especially in understanding their own themselves as well through their connection. And because the Saturn person can be the one that's more concerned with the sense of having responsibility and structure and even authority when it comes to the shared resources, the finances, and even the intimacy between them and the 8th house person, it can be like the 8th house person is kind of deferring to the Saturn person when it comes to these things. But it's not a one-sided relationship as far as the power dynamics. The 8th house person is also capable of affecting the Saturn person when it comes to a psychological level, and and really their psyche. They can get the Saturn person to open up on a deeper level, and they can kind of challenge the Saturn person's authority. So they're both going to take turns when it comes to leading in this relationship, and also when it comes to being a sense of support for each other, when it comes to getting through any kind of blockages, to being vulnerable. And so the Saturn person is helping the 8th house person when it comes to dealing with things like being able to sort out their finances and more practical details. And the 8th house person is helping the Saturn person with being able to deal with things that go beyond the surface, that the Saturn person is kind of covering up with, focusing on the more practical things. And their relationship might be a bit slower to develop, but they're both learning lessons, especially around vulnerability and when it comes to a deeper understanding of themselves as individuals and being able to share that with another person. And it is very slow burn and could take some patience for both of them. But once they both make the decision to be in the relationship, they're all in. And just when it comes to getting closer, when it comes to being invested in their connection, they take it very seriously, and they can be all in when it comes to making things work between the two of them. And even though having someone Saturn in your 8th house can actually be pretty complicated, especially when going through it, it can make for a very solid foundation. Well, that does it for this video on having your partner's Saturn in your 8th house in Synastry. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to this channel for more videos. Well, that is where I love and leave you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.